Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to continue with our teaching. We've been in this series on the Last Judgment, and today we're going to be talking about a description of the last judgment of the earth. Okay, we've been talking about the Last Judgment, and we talked about the judgment seat of Christ. We talked about the great white throne judgment. But today we're going to be talking about the judgment of the earth, a description of the last judgment of the earth. So we look at Matthew 10:15. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. So we know here Christ is talking about judgment of the earth. Okay, that's what he's dealing with, because we know Sodom and Gomorrah, we know fire and brimstone fell on Sodom and Gomorrah. But he's saying in this case, for these wicked and evil cities, Sodom and Gomorrah is going to be more tolerable. In other words, the judgment for these places is going to be worse than Sodom and Gomorrah. Look at Matthew 12:39 through 42. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and what adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, because they repented. The men of Nineveh, the people of Nineveh, they repented at the preaching of Jonas. And behold, a greater than Jonas is here. Christ is here. The queen of the south shall rise up in the judgment, all right, with this generation and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. So Christ is saying he was greater than Jonas. He was greater than Solomon. He came preaching the gospel, and people refused to repent. Let's get a deeper description here. Isaiah 2:10 through 21. Enter, look at this. Enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust for the fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humble, and the haughtiness of man shall be what? Bowed down. And the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day, in that day of judgment. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is what? Lifted up, and he shall be brought low. Okay? He give more grace to the humble. He resisted the prideful. And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every high tower, and upon every fence wall, and upon the ships of Tarshish, and upon what? The pleasant pictures, okay? And the loftiness of man shall be what? Bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. And the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rock and into the caves of the earth for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty, when he arises to shake terribly the earth. This is serious business, my friends. In that day, man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold which they made each for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the cliffs of the rocks and to the tops of the ragged rocks for fear of the Lord and for the glory of his majesty when he arises to shake terribly the earth. We're talking about judgment of the earth. Let's look at our key principles here, past judgment. The great flood, Genesis chapter 6, previous judgments of the earth, Sodom and Gomorrah, brimstone and fire from heaven. All right? Now, here are the other two judgments we've talked about, the white throne judgment seat and Christ's judgment seat. So, these last judgments of the earth are going to be serious business, my friends. Thank you for your time. May God bless you and keep you till we have an opportunity to bring you a message in the future. God bless you.